world. This is Sports Talk with Psycho Sam, and I just wanted to get into the Broncos versus the Seahawks. I predicted the game was going to be 27-17. The Broncos would win, and we won 27-24. Though they gave up one more touchdown than I thought we were going to give up. I'm going to go ahead and go right into stats. So Russell Wilson for the Seahawks was 19 of 33, had 298 yards, basically 300, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and was sacked 6 times. Yeah, the defense got after his ass on the sacks. Chris Carson had 7 carries, 51 yards, and a fumble. Rashad Penny had 7 carries and 8 yards. Russell Wilson also had 5 rushing yards. We only gave up 64 yards rushing. Really good on the run defense. I was impressed. Will Dissly, 3 receptions, 105 yards and a touchdown. Tyler Lockett, 3 receptions, 59 yards and a touchdown. Brandon Marshall had 3 receptions, 46 yards and a touchdown. Rashad Penny had 4 receptions for 35 yards. Chris Carson, 3 receptions for 28 yards. Nick Vanette, 1 reception, 11 yards. Trey Madden, 1 reception for 7 yards. So, adding up all the numbers together, tight ends and running backs, they had 186 yards of receiving. Like, that's just ridiculous when it comes to our safeties and our linebackers. We should not be giving up that many receiving yards and that many receptions to these tight ends and running backs, especially these ones that are not as known. The rookie, Will Dissly, like 3 receptions for 105 yards and a touchdown. He was burning them down the field all game. We looked ridiculous in coverage at times, and also we did very poor job tackling. So yeah, and then their defense. On defense for Seattle, Trey Flowers had 7 tackles. Shaquille Griffin had 6 tackles. Jerron Reed, 6 tackles. Bradley McDougall had 5 tackles and 2 interceptions. Bobby Wagner, he chipped in with 4 tackles. Earl Thomas had 3 tackles and an interception. And then Frank Clark had a tackle and 1 sack. Alrighty. Now going on to the offensive side of the Broncos. Case Keenum was 25 of 39 for 329 yards, 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, and was sacked only 1 time. I think the offensive line did a pretty good job of giving him time. He just made some mistakes and throw the ball pretty poorly on some of those. Bad decisions. Philip Lindsay, he had 15 carries for 71 yards. That's 4.7 yards a carry. 2 receptions, 31 yards, touchdown on that. And that one was the 29-yard reception on the swing route. Good blocking by Deshaun Hamilton on that play. He wasn't targeted, Deshaun Hamilton, but he did a good job blocking for the running backs. That was really good for him. Emmanuel Sanders targeted 10 times, caught it 10 times, had 135 yards and a touchdown. Boy, did he come out balling. I really liked the way he looked this game. He looked rejuvenated. Demaryius Thomas had 6 receptions for 63 yards and a touchdown. He caught the ball pretty well. I had a couple drops though. Caleb Sutton, 2 receptions, 45 yards. That's 22 yards, 22 and a half yards a catch. Big time for the rookie right there. I expect him to get more involved in the next coming weeks. Jake Butt, 2 receptions, 29 yards. Chipped in a little bit. And Jeff Hireman, a reception for 15 yards. That's pretty good for our tight ends. They're more blocking tight ends. I hope to see them more involved in the next game with receptions and receiving yards and blocking better. They did a pretty good job blocking today though. Always can improve, though. And on the defensive side, it was led by that beast. You know who he is, Von Miller. 6 tackles, 1 assisted, 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 recovery. Boy, did he come out and show him why he's up there in the rankings for Defensive Player of the Year. Like, this is the way you start your fucking season. Like, he was balling today. Brandon Marshall had 3 tackles, 3 assists. Todd Davis was the tackle leader with 8. Justin Simmons had 3 tackles, 1 assist, and an interception. Shaq Barrett had 2 tackles and a sack. Chris Harris had a tackle, 1 assist, and 1 sack. Bradley Chubb also had a tackle, 2 assisted tackles, and a half sack. Adam Jones had 2 tackles and an interception. He did pretty well in his debut. So yeah, that's the stat line. I'm going to get right into talking about the game. I think we put up a lot of points, which is good. It looked a lot better, a lot fucking better than last year's quarterbacks. And the way we ran the ball was pretty good. Our rookies look great. I am very happy with our draft class so far. They all chipped in on offense, did a very good job. I would like them to run the ball a lot more. That was pretty high up there in the attempts, the passing attempts. Case Keenum made some poor throws, some overthrows, missed some targets, and wasn't reading the defense too well. He threw 3 interceptions. Yeah, a couple of them were basically right to the defender. Needs to do a better job of looking off the wide receiver. And he also needs to do a better job if the pass isn't fucking there. Go to your other receivers. Go to your second look, your third look. Check it down if you fucking have to the running back. Like, do not fucking turn the ball over. Like, that's what we did last year. We don't need to see a repeat of last year with turning the fucking ball over. That really fucking got me hyped. And I was yelling at the fucking TV. Like, what the fuck are you doing? We don't need that. The rookies did a really good job running the ball. They held on to the ball. They secured the ball. They didn't fumble the ball. Same thing with our wide receivers. That offensive line looked fucking great, though. Gave up 1 sack. There's been a couple times they missed a couple of assignments, but that's going to happen during the game. You can't keep the quarterback clean the whole fucking game with no pressure. So overall, they pushed, pretty much pushed that defense around the way they wanted to, for the most part. Really good job by them. I think the tight ends need to be more involved in the passing game. And also on defense, once again, 186 fucking yards. Do I have to say any more? Like, our linebackers and our safeties need to do a better job. There's a lot of miscommunication, like the big touchdown to fucking Tyler Lockett, 51-yard touchdown. It was a miscommunication between Chris Harris and fucking Justin Simmons. Justin Simmons bid on that first move, thought it was going to be a outpost route, and instead he did a double move and went back inside. And they got torched. Chris Harris was playing the outside, and they just got beat deep on that one. And Todd Davis went in to, I guess, stop the run, and the tight end went right behind him and fucking had a major gain down the field. Big gain, which set them up for a touchdown. Very horrible when it comes to pass coverage. I need to see a change. I mean, we have guys that can stop the run. We need guys that can stop the pass. Over 300, basically 300 yards passing, given up. That's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it's first game, so they have time to fix these things, but they look terrible when it comes to that. And the Seahawks don't have the more premier receivers and tight ends and running backs. So that's not a good sign if this continues. We did really good against the run, though. I'm very happy with the run defense. They were outstanding, 64 yards rushing, especially with a guy like Russell Wilson, that is very mobile quarterback. We pretty much kept him contained. 6 fucking sacks. I was pretty impressed with Bradley Chubb this game when it came to setting the edge and stopping the run. Did a pretty good job. And we had a few tackle for losses by looked like Domotop Peko, and Derek Wolf got in there. It was really good. And so I think we need to do a better job covering, and we need to run the ball more. I would like to see one of our running backs get at least 20 carries in a game. But overall, they look pretty good for the first game. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to share it, go ahead and share it. And if you have any comments, let me know. Go ahead and subscribe as well.